The biting wind whipped around Dr. Alastair Finch as he meticulously adjusted the focus on his electron microscope. Outside, a blizzard raged, mirroring the storm of calculations and theories swirling in his mind. For years, the prevailing scientific consensus had been a simple, elegant truth: no two snowflakes are identical due to the chaotic interplay of temperature, humidity, and atmospheric pressure as water vapor freezes and crystallizes. Alastair, however, felt a gnawing unease with this explanation. It felt too random, too devoid of a deeper, more profound order. His lab, tucked away in a remote Arctic research station, was his sanctuary, his prison, and the crucible of his obsession. He had started with traditional crystallography, examining thousands upon thousands of snowflakes, meticulously cataloging their unique patterns. He built complex algorithms, trained AI models to seek out subtle similarities, but always, the conclusion remained distinct, individual masterpieces. Yet, a nagging thought persisted. What if the reason for their uniqueness wasn't environmental chaos, but something more fundamental, something embedded within the very structure of water itself? His research shifted. Instead of focusing on the macroscopic patterns, Alastair began to investigate the quantum interactions within the water molecules themselves as they began to crystallize. He developed a revolutionary quantum entanglement sensor, so sensitive it could detect minute shifts in electron spin at the precise moment of freezing. The initial data was perplexing, a chaotic mess of fluctuating energy readings. He spent months, then years, refining the sensor, building shielded chambers to isolate his experiments from any conceivable external interference. His funding was dwindling, his reputation among his peers teetering on the edge of eccentricity. They called his pursuit folly, a waste of resources on a settled matter, but Alastair couldn't let it go. Then, one frigid Arctic night, something shifted. A faint, repetitive pattern began to emerge from the noise. It wasn't a visual pattern in the snowflake itself, but an energetic signature, a faint ripple in the quantum field surrounding each nascent crystal. He enhanced the signal, filtering out ambient noise, and what he saw made his blood run cold. Each snowflake, at the very moment of its formation, emitted a unique quantum frequency, not a random frequency, but one that seemed to be subtly modulated, like a radio wave, but far more complex, encoded with layers of information. The more snowflakes he analyzed, the more convinced he became. The frequencies were incredibly diverse, each one distinct, but they weren't arbitrary. They were, in essence, signatures. He worked tirelessly, pushing his own physical and mental limits. He developed a decoder, a complex AI that could translate these quantum frequencies into visual representations. His first successful translation was breathtaking. It wasn't a pattern of ice, but a fleeting, holographic image that shimmered for a nanosecond before vanishing. The image was abstract, like a fleeting thought, a fragmented memory. He spent weeks trying to make sense of them, convinced he was on the verge of a monumental discovery, but he couldn't grasp the meaning. The turning point came during another blizzard, mirroring the first. Alastair was exhausted, frustrated, contemplating abandoning his work. He had collected thousands of these quantum signatures, but they remained an unreadable enigma. He was reviewing some of his earliest, almost discarded data, looking for any anomaly he might have missed. That's when he saw it, a particular sequence of quantum frequencies, almost identical to one he had recorded days later, but with a subtle, almost imperceptible shift. He ran it through his decoder, enhancing the signal, and this time, the holographic image persisted for a fraction of a second longer. It was clearer. What he saw wasn't an abstract pattern this time, it was a face, a fleeting, ethereal visage, almost translucent, but undeniably human. And then, another one, equally ephemeral, but subtly different. He replayed the data, focusing on the subtle variations in the quantum frequencies. Each snowflake, he realized with a jolt that sent shivers down his spine, was not just emitting a unique frequency, but reflecting a unique quantum imprint. He started connecting the dots. The uniqueness of snowflakes wasn't a result of random environmental factors, it was a reflection of something far more profound. He theorized, his mind racing, that the water molecules, before solidifying, were acting as incredibly sensitive quantum receivers, picking up and briefly recording the ambient quantum information of the universe. But what kind of information? And why was it manifesting as these fleeting, almost ghostly images? He remembered a conversation he'd had with an elderly colleague. a quantum physicist who had dabbled in fringe theories of consciousness and reality. The colleague had spoken of the universe as a vast, interconnected quantum field, where every thought, every experience, every being leaves an energetic trace. Alistair's hands trembled as he keyed in new parameters for his AI decoder. He instructed it to look for commonalities, for echoes, for persistent patterns within the fleeting holographic images. He worked through the night, fueled by strong coffee and an adrenaline surge he hadn't felt in years. As dawn broke, painting the Arctic sky in hues of pink and gold, the AI presented its findings. The images weren't entirely random. There were recurring motifs, recurring forms, and then, a breakthrough. The AI highlighted a specific quantum frequency sequence, common to a cluster of images. When Alistair decoded this sequence, the holographic image that materialized before him was unmistakable. It was a faint, shimmering depiction of the Earth, as seen from space, and surrounding it, like a faint aura, were countless tiny, individual points of light, each one pulsing with a unique, yet familiar quantum signature. He zoomed in on one of the pulsing lights. The holographic image resolved into a microscopic, ethereal representation of a human face, a face he recognized, his own, then another, and another, faces of people he knew, people he had seen on television, historical figures, each one fleeting, but undeniably distinct. The truth slammed into him with the force of an Arctic gale. No two snowflakes are identical because each one, at the moment of its creation, captures a fleeting quantum snapshot of a unique human consciousness. Every thought, every feeling, every memory, every individual existence in the vast tapestry of humanity leaves an energetic imprint on the quantum field. And the snowflakes, in their ephemeral beauty, are acting as tiny, quantum recorders of these unique signatures. The uniqueness of the snowflake wasn't about the ice crystal, it was about the unique quantum fingerprint of a human soul, momentarily etched into the fabric of a frozen water molecule. He had discovered not just why no two snowflakes are identical, but a profound, undeniable link between the microscopic world of ice and the sprawling, interconnected consciousness of humanity. The storm outside had calmed, and a new kind of silence descended upon the lab. A silence filled with the echoes of billions of unique souls, each one a breathtaking, individual pattern, forever reflected in the delicate beauty of a single snowflake. Alistair looked at his reflection in the microscope lens, not just seeing his own face, but the infinite universe of consciousness that had just revealed its most intricate secret.